Now we can multiply three-digit by three-digit numbers quite effectively using a formal written method, which basically multiplies each place value by the other place values. And that's quite a long process because it involves quite a few lines of working. There is another way, and well, there's lots of other ways. This one, maybe once you get the pattern, you might find this quite a straightforward way to multiply three-digit numbers, particularly when the digits themselves have a low face value, like this one here, 213 multiplied by 302. It's a bit more tricky here when you have larger digits because you're carrying numbers. But if you remember the pattern, you should be able to do those as well. What is the pattern? Well, the pattern won't make much sense right now, but I'll explain it. So you start from the right, just as you would under most written methods, and it goes like this. So it's up and down, then crisscross, small crisscross, then big crisscross up and down like a Union Jack, small crisscross, up and down. That's the pattern, and you'll see what I mean once we do it. Okay, so let's deal with some of these questions and see if we can get a sense of how this all works. So I want to deal with this one first. So 231 multiplied by 302. So what I'll do is I'll rewrite it so that the digits are spread apart a little bit. So 213 multiplied by 302, and that might help us understand the pattern that we have to use. So let's go about solving this. So the first pattern is up and down. So that means these guys get multiplied. So 2 and 3, 2 times 3, that's 6. Okay, so that's a good one. That's an easy one. Next is this pattern here. So small crisscross. Small crisscross means these two columns here, these two place values, the 10s and the 1s, they cross multiply. So here and here. Okay, and you add the products together. So 2 times 1 is 2, right? And 0 times 3 is 0. So 2 plus 0, that's 2. That goes there. Cool. So now we're up to the big crisscross, the big Union Jack. So what that is there, there, and up and down. And again, you add all the products. So 2 times 2 is 4, and you can do this in your head really. 3 times 3 is 9, and 1 times 0 is 0. So 4 plus 9 plus 0 is 13. Okay, so we're going to have to carry a number here, but we put the 3 down, and we're going to carry the number over to here because we're going to add it to whatever we come up with next. And the last one is, second to last one, sorry, is small crisscross. So again, we repeat what we did over here, but for the tens and hundreds column. So small crisscross, okay, we add those guys together. So 0 times 2 is 0, and 3 times 1 is 3. So it's 3, but we have to add this 1 over here, so it becomes a 4. Okay, and we're up to the last step, and the last step is straight up and down. So straight up and down. 3 times 2, 6, and that is the final answer. Okay, so you get an idea of how that pattern up here works. So let's try a trickier kind of question. I say trickier, it's only trickier because the digits themselves are larger, which will result in larger products, so it's harder to add them together in your head, and there'll be a lot of carrying. But it's not trickier in the sense that this is the pattern. It remains the pattern. So I want to rewrite these digits out so that we've got a bit of space to move. So 642 multiplied by 7, 5, and 6. Okay, so again, let's just follow our pattern, and it should be relatively straightforward. So the first step is straight up and down. So it's these two guys. So 6 times 2 is 12. Put the 2 here, and we'll carry the 1 over to the next column, which is where the next digit will go. So we're finished with that. Let's try little crisscross. So little crisscross, little crisscross. So 24 and 10 is 34. Okay, plus 1 is 35. So 5 will go here, and we'll carry the 3 over here. Cool. Next one. We're up to the big crisscross, the big Union Jack crisscross. So cross here, and up and down. Okay, so 36 plus 14, okay, that's 50, plus 20 is 70, plus 3, 73. So 3 goes here, and the 7 will carry over to the next place value. Next one is we are going to little crisscross again, and we're up to here now. So little crisscross here, little crisscross here. So we've got 30 and 28 is 58, plus 7, 65. So the 5 goes here, and we'll carry the 6. And the last step is straight up and down. Straight up and down. So 6 times 7 is 42, plus the 6 is 48. And that's how it's done. So if you're not quite sure, rewind, have a look, watch again.